Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. So for our asynchronous lesson today, my plan is to go through just a few of the examples from the assignment that was due today. So hopefully you've had a chance to try those. I chose a couple that I thought were a little bit more on the challenging side. And then I'll go through, there's just another example that I want to do. It's all really the same thing. It's just that there are no blanks filled in. You've got to fill in all of them for yourself. So I'll talk through that. And well, here we go. All right, here we go. So I've got a few of them chosen here. We'll just go through, take a look at them. Number 3, they tell me that AB is congruent to DE. So that is the first statement. And of course, that is given. AC is congruent to DF. They haven't stated that yet. So I'll go ahead and say that segment AC is congruent to segment DF. And I know that because it is given. They also told me that segment BC was congruent to segment EF. And once again, that is given. So just copying down the given information, I've got most of my blanks filled in already. They've got the diagram marked already, A, B, and DE, AC and DF, BC and EF. And I've got everything that I need. I've got 3 different sets of congruent sides. They've already filled in the blank. The side, 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 all I have to do is say that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle DEF. And I'm looking at this, and that's a typo. That doesn't make sense. This should be triangle ABC. I didn't even notice that, but that is triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Interesting. So that is that one. Question number 4. Of course, we've got the given information. They haven't filled in any of that, so I will state that angle L is congruent to angle N, and angle LOM is congruent to angle NMO. These are both given to me. So there we go. That's all that's given, though, and that's definitely not everything, because that is one angle. That is another angle. They've got those labeled on there, but I need something else. So I'm going to use the hint that they gave me here. The reason is the reflexive property. The reflexive property is what we have used to say that a segment or an angle is congruent to itself. And in this case, this side, segment MO, is a part of both of those triangles. So I will say that segment MO is congruent to itself. MO is congruent to MO because of the reflexive property. And then I've got everything that I need. I've got 2 sets of angles. I've got the side. Now notice that the side is not between these 2 angles. The side between these 2 angles down here would be segment LO. I'm not so sure about that one. And so it looks like our reasoning here is because of angle, angle, side. 2 angles and the side that is not in between. If you call that side angle, angle, that would be okay also. All right, moving along, let's take a look at problem number 6 here. And when I printed this, it didn't come off down in the bottom. Hopefully you can see that on the PDF that you're looking at. PQ is parallel to ST. They didn't state that down here, so I'll go ahead and state that PQ is parallel to segment ST because that is given. They did state that segment PR is congruent to segment TR, so that was more given information. Let's see. Angle P is congruent to angle T. How do I know that? Well, they told me that these 2, whoops, sorry about that. These are parallel. PQ is parallel to ST, and that matters. If those 2 sides are parallel, that means that these 2 angles, angle P and angle T, would be congruent, like they said, because of alternate interior angle theorem. I'll just say alternate interior angles for that one. Now I could also say that Q and S are congruent. Those are also alternate interior angles, but apparently I don't need that. The next thing they say is that angle PRQ, let's see, PRQ is this angle here, is congruent to SRT. That's that angle there. I know those are congruent because they are vertical angles. So I'll just say vertical angles for that one. And then finally, like I said, it got cut off on the bottom of my piece of paper here, but the reasoning is angle, side, angle. And that's because I've got two angles and the side that is in between. So the two triangles, triangle PQR is congruent to triangle TSR. And the reason for that is because of angle, side, angle. On the second page, I only found one problem that I thought would be different enough for us to take a look at right now. Let me make sure that I'm focused here. Lots of blanks on this one. LM is congruent to NO. That is given. The other given information is that angle M is congruent to angle O. And then they're going to use angle, angle, side to finish this one up. So far, I've got a set of sides. I've got a set of angles. So it looks like I'm going to need another set of angles. Now, it looks like L and N might be congruent, but I'm not sure. If they told me that these lines were parallel, then I could say that they are congruent because of alternate interior angles, but they didn't. So I better not do that either. But I also see that we've got a set of vertical angles. And vertical angles are always congruent. So I'm going to say angle MPL is congruent to segment. Let's see, MPL is congruent to, I'll call that one OPN because of vertical angles. The vertical angle theorem. And then finally, the last statement I make is the thing that I'm trying to prove. Triangle MPL is congruent to triangle NPO because of angle, side, side. Excuse me, angle, angle, side. I've got two sets of angles and the side that is not between those two angles. So there we go. I'll post the rest of this answer key for you guys to take a look at. But before I'm done today, I want to do one problem that is more similar to the problems you're going to be doing in your homework. And that is something that looks more like this. A blank slate. I don't have any given statements or reasons written in. I'm going to have to figure all of these out on my own. So start these problems like we always do. They tell me that segment PR is perpendicular to segment SQ. That is given. They also are telling me that segment PQ is congruent to segment PS. That is given. So that's the easy part. Just write down that given information. At this point, I'm going to label my diagram. They didn't label anything for me here. So they're telling me that PR is perpendicular to SQ. So there's a right angle there. And actually, there's a right angle there also. PQ is congruent to PS, so that segment is congruent to that segment. All right, good. At this point, I've got one set of congruent sides, and that is it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about why did they tell me that this was perpendicular? Why does that matter? Well, if this segment is perpendicular to that segment, that means these are right angles. That means that the measure of angle, let's see, SRP is 90 degrees. And I'll say the same thing about the other one. The measure of angle QRP is 90 degrees. And how do I know that? I'm going to go with something like the definition of perpendicular. Now, I still haven't said that they're congruent, but now I can say that. I can say that angle SRP is congruent to angle QRP. And my reason for that is something like maybe all 90-degree angles are congruent or something like that. I'm wondering if maybe there was an easier way to go about this, but I feel pretty good about what I've got. It's just going to take me one more step than I've got spaces here, but that's okay. I was told that they were perpendicular, which means I've got 90-degree angles. Maybe I should have said both of these at the same time. Maybe I should have said the measure of this is 90, and the measure of that one is 90, because that's what it means to be perpendicular. And then I say that these two angles are congruent. There is a set, there is a set of angles. So that's congruent to that. I'm still not done yet, because all I have is one set of sides and one set of angles. But fortunately, I've got these overlapping triangles. PR is a segment in both the triangle on the top and the triangle on the bottom. So I'm going to say that segment PR is congruent to itself because of the reflexive property. And there's my other set of sides. This segment is congruent to itself. And then I was going to say I've got side, angle, side, but it's not side, angle, side, because the two sides I have, the angle in between them isn't the one. It's this angle over here, which means we're in trouble. There is no side angle congruence. But I still want to say that these two triangles are congruent. Triangle PRQ is congruent to triangle PRS. And I'm saying it right now because I believe it's true. But my reasoning is not going to be angle side side. My reasoning is going to be hypotenuse leg. So maybe there we go. Maybe I didn't need to say all this stuff because I had 90-degree angles. That means that PS and PQ were the hypotenuse. And that means that PR was a leg instead of just a corresponding side. So looks like as I was going through this problem, maybe I should have said, instead of these, I should have said that this was my hypotenuse and this was my leg. And then I could have just used those right angles. I guess I didn't even need that step. I didn't need to say that they were congruent because I had already said that both of those were right angles. So it looks like I maybe took an extra step on that one, but that's okay. That's going to happen sometimes when you do these proofs, that you'll end up with maybe some steps that you try and you realize that you're going in the wrong direction. So I didn't do that on purpose, but I'm kind of glad I did because I want you guys to see what happens when it looks like that. All right, well, that is enough for this one. Take a look. I've got 4 problems like this in the assignment that is due. For those of you in my 4th hour class, it'll be due on Thursday. For those of you in my 6th hour class, it'll be due on Friday. And then we can take a look at some more of those examples and get ready for the next section. So there we go. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. If you need to watch it again, you can just replay this video or let me know if you got any questions. Thanks, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.